mo ti dé mo ti dé mo ti dé mo ti dé ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ mi lónìí o mo tún ti dé mo ti dé mo ti dé mo ti dé mo ti dé ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ mi lónìí o mo tún ti dé ẹ̀yin èèyàn ẹ sáré wá ẹ̀yin èèyàn ẹ sáré wá ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ mi lónìí o mo tún ti dé mo ti dé mo ti dé mo ti dé mo ti dé ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ mi lónìí o mo tún ti dé mo ti dé mo ti dé mo ti dé mo ti dé ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ mi lónìí o mo tún ti dé ẹ̀yin èèyàn ẹ wá gbọ́ ẹ̀yin èèyàn ẹ wá gbọ́ ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ mi lónìí o mo tún ti dé àti dé àti dé àti dé àti dé ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ wa lónìí o a tún ti dé àti dé àti dé àti dé àtúntì dé ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ wa lónìí o a tún ti dé ẹ̀yin èèyàn ẹ súnmọ́ bí ẹ̀yin èèyàn ẹ súnmọ́ bí ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ wa lónìí o a tún ti dé àti dé àti dé àti dé àtúntì dé ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ wa lónìí o àtúntì dé ẹ̀yin èèyàn ẹ sáré wá ẹ̀yin èèyàn ẹ sáré wá ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ wa lónìí o àtúntì dé ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ wa lónìí o àtúntì dé ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ wa lónìí o àtúntì dé ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ wa lónìí o àtúntì dé ojúmọ́ ire ti mọ́ wa lónìí o a tún ti dé. Ọ̀rúnmìlà ìkùtù fẹ̀rẹ̀ nírè Ifá mo lójú ire ló mọ̀ ó ní ta ni mo mọ̀ tí ojú ire mọ́ mo ní ọlọ́ta nílé adó ó ní kò tí ì ṣọlọ́ta nílé adó Ọ̀rúnmìlà ìkùtù fẹ̀rẹ̀ nírè Ifá mo lójú ire ló mọ̀ ó ní ta ni mo mọ̀ tí ojú ire mọ́ mo ní eri mi lóde ọ̀wọ̀ ó ní kò tí ì ṣe eri mi lóde ọ̀wọ̀ Ọ̀rúnmìlà ìkùtù fẹ̀rẹ̀ nírè Ifá mo lójú ire ló mọ̀ ó ní ta ni mo mọ̀ tí ojú ire mọ́ mo ní Aláàfin lálẹ̀ di Ọ̀yọ́ ó ní kò tí ì ṣe Aláàfin lálẹ̀ di Ọ̀yọ́ mo ní Ọ̀rúnmìlà èmi jẹ́wọ́ Ògún dá mi láṣọrò èmi ò mọ ẹni tí ojú ire mọ́ ó ní àfi ọmọ tòun èrìgì àlọ́ àbí ẹni tó bá ṣọwọ́ gínígíní dáhùn fún ó lóun nìkan ní ojú ire mọ́ ó ṣe ní ìwúre wípé gbogbo ọjọ́ ayé wa tàbá ti ń sùn tàbá ti ń jí ojú ire ni yóò máa mọ́ wa. By the power of Olódùmarè, each day of our life will be a positive day, will be a great day, will be a productive day by the power of our ancestors, by the power of Orunmila, by the power of the Creator. So shall it be. Ànírógun wàhálà, ànírógun ìdààmú. Ifá ní oníkẹ́kẹ́ ló lógún, alábàjá ló lọ́gbọ̀n, onípolosíkò ló láàdọ́ta, àwọn ló dífá fún ọdún ìbákú, èyí tí sọmọ bíbí inú àgbọn nìrègún, àbù fún ọdún ìbáyè, ǹjẹ́ ọdún tó ní mi yóò kú, òun lè jirẹ́ ti gbé lọ, ẹdìyẹ ìrìnà tí mo jù ú lẹ̀, òun lè jirẹ́ ti gbé lọ o, tí ẹ̀ ń rere, àwòdì kàṣà ìgbékọ̀ àwọn ọlọ́kọ́rin kése o, tí ẹ̀ ń rere, ikú ò ní pa wá lójijì, àrùn ò ní ṣe wá, we will not experience untimely death, we will not experience sickness, our children will not experience sickness, our husband, wives, our family, our relative will not experience untimely death by the power of Olódùmarè. So shall it be. Everything we lay our hands upon, it shall prosper by the power of Olódùmarè. Ọ̀rúnmìlà yí ìpọ́njú mi ohun ẹ̀rọ nídà ó ní kí mú kanjú ẹbọ ẹ̀rọ wá mo ní eku méjì olùmúwéré Ọ̀rúnmìlà ní kò ń ṣe ojú ẹbọ Ọ̀rúnmìlà yí ìpọ́njú mi ohun ẹ̀rọ nídà ó ní kí mú kanjú ẹbọ ẹ̀rọ wá mo ní ẹja méjì abìlùgbàdà Ọ̀rúnmìlà ní kò ń ṣe ojú ẹbọ mo ní obídìyẹ àbẹ̀dọ̀lùkẹ́lùkẹ́ Ọ̀rúnmìlà ní kò ń ṣe ojú ẹbọ mo ní ewúrẹ́ àbòmúrẹ́dẹ́rẹ́dẹ́ Ọ̀rúnmìlà ní kò ń ṣe ojú ẹbọ mo ní àgbò abìjọ̀jọ̀ lọ́rùn Ọ̀rúnmìlà ní kò ń ṣe ojú ẹbọ mo ní ògbó erin ńlá amú oṣooṣù ká lórí Ọ̀rúnmìlà yóò lè ní mòrè yóò kọrin jíjẹ ni mo yà sí mo ní Ọ̀rúnmìlà èmi jẹ́wọ́ Ògún dá mi láṣọrò èmi ò mọ ohun tá máa fi rúbọ tí ìpọ́njú ayé ẹni tá fi dẹ̀rọ̀ olóde tó ní ìgbé ẹlẹ́rọ̀ Ọ̀rúnmìlà tá bá ti wá rí tamudé ńkọ́ ó ní ṣé mi ò mọ̀ wípé ìgbé òkè ń jayé ìgbóná ó ní ìgbímọ̀ dé mọ lẹ́rọ̀ awo pẹ̀rọ̀ sáwo nílé kò pẹ̀rọ̀ sáwo lọ́nà lágbára Ọlọ́run ọba Olódùmarè àníbá wọn jayé ìnira àníjayé ìgbóná gbogbo ohun tá a bá ti dáwọ́lé yóò máa yọrí sí rere by the power of Olódùmarè. So shall it be. by the power of our ancestors, so it will be. By the power of the energies that controls the universe, by the power of the Iyamis, so shall it be. Bí yóò dẹ̀ ṣe rí nìyẹn. Welcome to today's episode of Words of Wisdom and Understanding. Today's episode of Words of Wisdom and Understanding. Words of Wisdom and Understanding. You are welcome once again. My name remains Babalawo Olarewaju Ifa Damilare, a practicing Babalawo Onifa. Today, I want to speak on what I titled The Cause of Your Failure. The cause of our failure. The cause of my failure. The cause, the reason why we always fail in everything we do. Have we ever thought, or have we ever sit down to think about the reason why you don't always get it right? That is a question mark. Why you don't always get it right? Why? What is the reason why you don't always get it right? The reasons are very complex. Sometimes we tend to be too knowledgeable than nature. Sometimes we want to prove to nature that we are more advanced than our Creator. By so doing, we find ourselves in the wrong part of life. When we want to claim that our Creator is not as good as we, whom He created, we are liable to fail. We are liable to fail. Life is a process. And life is stages. Life is stages, and each stage serves a purpose in our life. A time to be born, a time to crawl, a time to walk, a time to grow, a time to start going to school, a time to graduate from kindergarten to primary school, a time to move from primary to secondary, a time to move from secondary to tertiary institution, a time to graduate, a time to find a purpose in life, a time to have a family, a time to grow with the family, a time to start producing children, a time to die and go back to where we come from. Meaning that this life is a marketplace. Ìrìn àjò nílé ayé. Ayé ni ọjà, ọ̀run ni ilé. We are all in a market world, a marketplace. We all come here to transact, to sell, to buy. And after we sell, after we buy, we go back home and plan to come back to another market. That is reincarnation. That is another life entirely. But this present life that you and I had found ourselves, why do we always experience failure? That is why I am here today. First of all, I am a spirit-led man. I do not create a YouTube account to start looking for followers, to start begging people to come and watch me or listen to me. I come here whenever the Spirit directs me to come. I sit down, preach and teach whenever the Spirit allows me to do that. What I am speaking about now, I got the inspiration yesterday night while I was thinking about my personal life. The song I sang now, I got the inspiration now. I do not plan about the song before. The song has not been existing before from anywhere. I don't listen to the song anywhere. I sit and the inspiration come. So I bring it out. That is a spirit-filled man. That is a man that's been led by the Spirit. So the words of my mouth is not to make you happy. The words of my mouth is not to make you feel good. No. The words of my mouth can either come to you positive or negative. Inasmuch the words are making positive impact in your life, either good or bad. Because if you are not discovering who you are, if you are not having a purpose here on earth, there is no way you and I will be friends. It is not possible. You need to have a purpose in life. And your purpose starts from discovering who you are, from understanding the purpose, the reason of your existence. You are experiencing failure. You do not know the reason why you are experiencing failure. Inasmuch you are an African, you should know that there is a problem already. Inasmuch you are an African child, the blood that flows through your vein is African blood. There is a problem already. It is left up to you to discover the problems and the solution to the problem. If you fail to discover the problems and the solution to the problems, there are possibilities that your children will also fail in that same way you fail. Reason for your failure. A lot of you, a lot of us, we are doing an abominable things, consuming an abominable food, consuming abominable fruit that is against our body, that is against our spirit. But we believe everything that is existing is all good for human consumption. Reason for your failure. You need to make research about who you are. You are not existing just for existing sake. There is a reason why you are here. And if that purpose is not fulfilled, you are automatically a failure. You can be the president of a nation. You can be the prime minister of a nation. You can be the governor of a state. You can be the commissioner in a state. You can be the local government chairman in a local government community area. But if your purpose of existing in life is not fulfilled, you are still a failure. We can talk about many predecessors, many people who had been a governor. We can talk about many people who had been the head of a state, head of a nation, and today they have no history of good relevance. You can be wealthy today and become poor tomorrow if you do not discover who you are, your purpose of existence. Knowing the reason why you failed the first time before embarking on the same journey the second time is very, very important in the course of our journey in life. Ìfà ni wọ́n ṣe kó bàjẹ́ àwọ̀ ayé, bẹ́ẹ̀ kò lè bàjẹ́ àwọ̀ wọn lóde ọ̀run. Àwọn ló dífá fún Ọ̀rúnmìlà òpìtàn níjọ́ tí àwọn ọ̀tá rẹ̀ ní òjò ẹ̀sìn máa rọ̀ lé baba lórí. Wọ́n ṣe kó bàjẹ́, that is the name of a priest in heaven. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò lè bàjẹ́, the name of a priest here on earth. These were the divination that was made for Orunmila when all his enemy want him to be disgraced. In other words, Your existence alone is a problem to some people. Your progress is a problem to some people. You being financially stable is a problem to some people. And if you are not properly careful, those who do not want you to be successful, those who do not want you to progress, might end up getting and achieving their aims in your life. And for that reason, you fail. The enemies of Orunmila, they do not want him to be successful. They do not want any positive things to come out of Orunmila. He went to make a divination. Those enemies that are against my life, that are after my life, what do I need to do in order for them not to overcome me? It was asked to offer sacrifice. When was the last time you make a divination for yourself? When was the last time you seek deep knowledge to know the plots of your adversaries against your life or about your life? Wọ́n ní kí Ọ̀rúnmìlà rúbọ, ó ṣẹ́gun ọ̀tá, ó rẹ́yìn òdì, baba lanu kó tó rin àwọn olóko sí lẹ́nu. Ó ní wọ́n ṣe kó bàjẹ́ o, kí wọ́n lè máa yọ̀, kó lè bàjẹ́ o. Wọ́n ṣe kó bàjẹ́ o, kí wọ́n lè máa yọ̀, kó lè bàjẹ́ o, ẹ̀wí. Kó lè bàjẹ́ o, ẹ̀wí. Kó lè bàjẹ́ o, wọ́n ṣe kó bàjẹ́ o, kí wọ́n lè máa yọ̀, kó lè bàjẹ́ o. That is ìdí ìlẹ̀kẹ̀. Ìdí in the right hand, ìrẹ̀tẹ̀ in the left hand. Reason for your failure. Your inability to rediscover yourself spiritually is one of the major reasons for your failure. You need to rediscover yourself. Where do you come from? You are existing today. It's not by your power. It's not by how brilliant you are. It's not by how educated you are. Your existence has a foundation, has origination. Your father gave back to you. Your grandfather gave back to your father. Your great-grandfather gave back to your grandfather. And so on and so forth. That is your existence. That is where you existed from. So you are not existing because, oh, your mother just gave back to you and then I can do whatever. No, you cannot do whatever you want to do. You must understand the concepts of life. When you buy a textbook, that textbook will have a content, a table of content. The preface, introduction, about the author. Then they will tell you what the first chapter, what you have to expect. The second chapter, so on and so forth. That is the same thing that is happening to human life. The same thing. There's no difference. You must have a concept. There must be a purpose why you are existing. You must have a purpose. If you do not have a purpose, there is tendency that you will fail. And when you fail, do you know the problem? You now beginning to tag your failure to witches and wizards, to somebody from somewhere who doesn't like you. No. You must understand who you are. Discover who you are. It's very important. Very, very important. It's very, very important. When was the last time you as a man, you see your father, you prostrate. You prostrate for your father as an African child, and your father lay his hands on you and pray for you? When was the last time you've done that? When was the last time you see your own mother? You kneel down before your mother say a word of positivity into your life. When? Ask yourself. These are the reasons for your failure, but you don't take it serious. When? Somebody has told you that your mother is a wizard, your mother is a witch, your mother is the one doing you, your father doesn't like you, your father married 3 wives, so therefore your father does not want to see. All these things are reason for your failure. You have to be very, very careful while taking a sensitive decision. Ọ̀rúnmìlà yóò ohun ìgbà òwúrọ̀ mi ohun ìgbà òwúrọ̀ bára mi àgbọnìrègún. Ó ó ní ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń bá ó ní ọ̀rọ̀ tí aláwòrò Ògún ó ní ọ̀rọ̀ tí Ògún bá aláwòrò rẹ̀ sọ ó ní kí wọ́n sọ fún aláwòrò Ògún kó mọ́ gbàgbé ó ní tí ò bá ti gbàgbé ó ní Ògún ò ní gbàgbé rẹ̀. Ọ̀rúnmìlà ohun ìgbà òwúrọ̀ Ifá mi ohun ìgbà òwúrọ̀ bára mi Àgbọnnìrègún ó ní ọ̀rọ̀ tí Ùjà tó bá aláwòrò rẹ̀ sọ ó ní kí wọ́n sọ fún aláwòrò Ùjà kó mọ́ gbàgbé ó ní tí ò bá ti gbàgbé ó ní Ùjà ò ní gbàgbé rẹ̀. Ó ní ọ̀rọ̀ tí Ọ̀ṣun bá aláwòrò rẹ̀ sọ ní kí wọ́n sọ fún aláwòrò Ọ̀ṣun kó mọ́ gbàgbé ó ní tí ò bá ti gbàgbé ó ní Ọ̀ṣun ò ní gbàgbé rẹ̀. Ó ní bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń bá ọmọ Akápò tó wèrègì àlọ́ sọ ó ní kí wọ́n sọ fún kó mọ́ gbàgbé ó ní tí ò bá ti gbàgbé ó lóun ò ní gbàgbé rẹ̀. Èṣe etí ológbò ọ̀jẹ̀jẹ̀ rẹ o ohun bá ọ̀fọ̀ mo mọ̀ gbàgbé o etí ológbò ọ̀jẹ̀jẹ̀ rẹ o ohun bá ọ̀fọ̀ mo mọ̀ gbàgbé o. A lot of us had forgotten our foundation, and there is no way we forget our foundation and we won't experience problems. Yorùbá says it is the words of Ifá. Wọ́n ní odò tó bá gbàgbé orísun wọn ló máa gbẹ. That is, any river that forgets its or her source, it tends to dry up. A lot of us are living, but the source of our living are dried. So we need to go back, make research. Where do I come from? What is my source? Where is my source? What do I need to do to enhance my source in order not to dry off? Very important. Reason for our failure. Reason for our failure. Ọ̀rúnmìlà yóò di àsìpàtì, Ifá ló di àsìgbàgbé. Ó ní kí wọ́n sọ fún aláwòrò Ògún tó ti ń sin Ògún kó má pa Ògún rẹ̀ tí kó má gbàgbé Ògún rẹ̀ kí Ògún má bàa gbàgbé rẹ̀. That is ẹ̀ka Òfún, ẹ̀ka in the right hand, Òfún in the left hand. Ọ̀rúnmìlà ohun ìgbà òwúrọ̀ mi ohun ìgbà, that is ìdí ìlẹ̀kẹ̀. One of the admonishment of Ọ̀rúnmìlà in ìdí ìlẹ̀kẹ̀. Ọ̀rúnmìlà yóò di àsìpàtì, Ifá ló di àsìgbàgbé. Ó ní kí wọ́n sọ fún aláwòrò Ùjà tó ti sin Ùjà kó má gbàgbé Ùjà rẹ̀ kí Ùjà má bàa gbàgbé rẹ̀. It's very, very important. Very, very important. We have to understand the reason of our existence. If you forget your foundation, you are tend to fail. There is tendency for your failure. And your failure will also brings another negativity to the children you are giving birth to. Wickedness. You need to stop your wickedness. If you are being wicked to people, if you are being wicked to your neighbor, if you are being wicked to your wife, if you are being wicked to your husband, you have to go and work on yourself. Those are the things that brings about failure. 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 Ọ̀rúnmìlà yóò wọ́n ní dé Ifá mi awọ ọlọ́bàrà ní ṣe. Ọ̀wọ́n ní ọlọ́bàrà. I am the Ọ̀wọ́n here now. You are the ọlọ́bàrà. So I am giving out the message so that you can learn, so you can grow, so you can have the understanding of life. Life is beyond religion. Life is beyond religion. What relationship do you have with your parents? What relationship do you have with your own self? All you do is wake up in the morning, put eyelashes, put makeup. People barely recognize the real identity, who you are. Every day you put makeup. Every day you put eyelashes, different wig, wave on, bleaching cream, everything. All these things does not define who you are. You must understand who you truly are in the spirit of your Creator. In the spirit of your Creator. Understanding your purpose is very important. Understanding your purpose of existence is very, very important. Ọ̀rúnmìlà yìí ò di Ifá mi ò di. Yìí ò di náà ṣe tayẹ́, ò di náà ṣe ògùrò. Yìí ò di náà sorun ọmọ, yìí ò di náà ṣe ọ̀tá. Yìí ò di ní olókòkò síkò tí mú gítí rẹ̀ gùn tó ń gun járí. Ó ní kó sọ fún ọmọ ẹni kó lọ mú ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ̀ láti dì í. You have to go back to the foundation of your life. in order for you not to experience failure. Reason for your failure. I am just bringing out basic tips why you are experiencing failure. If you do not discover who you are, there is no way you will know what is good for you, the type of man that is good for you, the type of job that is good for you, the type of soil, the land that you can live a productive life. All these basic things in life are very important. I have it in one of my teachings back last year. The 3 basic things that you as human, you must not miss out. The number 1 thing, where you are destined to live. The number 2 things, the nature of job you are destined to do here on earth, here on the marketplace. The number 3 things, that is, if you are a man, the type of woman that will be a queen in your own kingdom, in your own palace. And if you are a woman, the type of man that will be your own king, your crown. If you miss any of these 3, there is tendency for failure. There is tendency for failure. So these are basic things that we all need to know about the life we are living. We are not just existing because we want to exist. Something happened. There is a scenario that took place before our existence. So that scenario that took place, we need to go and make research about the scenario in order for us to understand who we are. So today, everybody is traveling out of Nigeria. They call it a Commonwealth. They want to japa. If you are destined to be successful here in the Nigerian soil, and you save all the money you want, you borrow money, you do this, you travel to Canada, you are wasting your time. You will go to Canada truly. Spend 30 years, 25 years, 20 years, you will still come back and start again from Nigeria. You will achieve nothing from Canada because you are not destined to be productive in Canada. It's very deep. You have to understand who you are. If you are destined to be productive maritally, financially, academically, mentally, psychologically, if you are destined to be productive here in the Nigerian soil, and because of government problem, because of economic problem, you decide to travel to America, you are wasting your time in America. When you get to America, it is either you commit a crime that will take you to prison, or something happens to you, people will lie against you, you go to prison, or something will happen, you get deported, or whatever, you will still come back to this same Nigeria and start afresh again. It has happened to many people, but they don't have anybody to share it with. You must understand who you are. You must understand the purpose of your existence. It is not everyone that is existing that have the grace to say, yes sir, yes ma'am, yes sir, yes ma'am, for somebody because he has a company or because he is the boss. There are so many of you that are created, specially designed by the creator to be a boss. And because you do not discover who you are, you now went to America, Canada, United Kingdom, Europe, and start saying, yes boss, yes sir, yes, you are deceiving yourself. You cannot grow. Financially, you will not grow. Spiritually, you will not grow. Mentally, you will not grow. Maritally, you will still come back to where you belong. It's very, very important. Reason for your failure. You need to discover who you are. You need to discover who you are. If you do not discover who you are, there is tendency for your failure. That is why I am here today. That is why I am here today. Orunmila yora sumi bari ifami yora sumi bari bara mi agboniregun. Olórí torofini su torofini bari láwùjọ àwọn ọmọ eku. ó ní ìgbà ọmọ ẹkú péjọ, wọ́n kí Torofin ní kú oríire. When you are naturally made a leader and you decide to be a follower, that is failure. Discovering who you are, understanding who you are, reason for your failure. So today, this is the message the Creator had sent me to tell you. I am not here to talk much, but I hope the words of my mouth brings liberation to you. I hope the words of my mouth brings you freedom. I hope the words of my mouth brings you understanding, the knowledge that you are designed to have. Thank you very much. I will come back again whenever I am being led to come. My name remains Babalawo Olaniwaju Ifadamilare. Elaboru, elaboye, bọ́ṣẹ́ṣẹ́, gbogbo àtọ́, àsúre, ìwòrìwò fún àṣẹ.